Hello, 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 everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. It is a cloudy day. It's not even cloudy. It's supposed to be a sunny day, but there's so much smoke in the air, it looks cloudy. It's currently 25 degrees with the humidex, which means it's 77 Fahrenheit with the humidex. We've got a lot of smoke, a lot of evacuations happening here in Manitoba due to the wildfires. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I think they last count was something like 17,000 people have been evacuated from up north because of the fires, and it's just, they've declared a state of emergency. It's brutal, 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 brutal. Anyway, so today I wanted, good morning, Jen, nice to see you. Couple of things today. Somebody had asked why and how I do my unpaper paper towel to show you. So these are just 11 by 11 squares, cotton on one side, flannel on the other. That's crazy. The evacuees is crazy. I'm trying to figure out how I can help without leaving the house. So these are 11 by 11 squares of fabric. Hey, Anne, nice to see you. So as I say, flannel on one side, cotton on the other. Usually I stitch an X and go around them twice with a zigzag, and I use these instead of paper towels. One of the reasons being is when I was doing catering from the house, they want you to wash your hands and not use the same towel because of germs, right? Bacteria build up, damp cloths, whatever. So I did a whole bunch of those. Hi, Sherry, nice to see you. I did a bunch of those so that I could dry my hands on one, put it in the laundry instead of all the paper towels going into the trash. So that's why I did the paper towels. And then somebody else asked me how I do the rice bags. So that was my sister's idea and the pattern she had. So it was, her pattern called for a 9-inch wide by a 15-inch long flannel, like, and you sew the two pieces together, and then you sew channels in it and fill it with rice. But you don't fill the whole bag up with rice because you want it to be able to move and bend so that you can put it around your neck. I do mine a little bit longer because they found 15 inches wasn't long enough for their neck and shoulders. So mine's about 16, 18 inches long. And you put rice in it, sew up the end, throw it in the microwave, and it makes a great heating pad. Again, that's kind of what I've been up to. How have you guys been? What have you been up to? Today was the first of the month where my sister didn't send me a picture of 3 white rabbits. That's a British thing. It's a superstition. You say white rabbits, white rabbits, white rabbits before you say anything else when you get up on the first of the month. I'm so glad I've got one machine going. The other machine's there. I haven't heard from the guy, but he's a firefighter, so he's probably off and doing stuff. That's why my first machine took longer than he anticipated to get fixed. It'll happen when it happens, but I'm glad I've got one going at least. So yeah, I've done 5 households of unpaper towels, 10 per household. So I've done those. Rice bags for Ron, and then for the grandkid and his partner and daughter. Like, yeah, you know, I got a machine again. I have a list of stuff. They also want quilts. Don't know if I'm going to get to that. All right, so today, recipes below. We're going to do fried wrap sandwiches. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's just another way to use the flour tortillas for making sandwiches instead of rolling them. And instant oatmeal. And the instant oatmeal is kind of like a copycat recipe. You know those little packages that you open it up, you pour it in a bowl, you add hot water, and kids love them because they're 90% sugar. Hey, Andrea, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys all here. So I want to do instant oatmeal, and I'm going to show you how I do those folded wrap sandwiches. And the reason being is I have to use what's in my house because I can't go to the store because of all the smoke up there. So we're using what Kim's got. You went to a paper mache? Yeah, the pulp she provided didn't work well. I saw what your daughter had posted. We'll have to talk about that. I want to do some, Kim wants to do it. All right, so we're doing two things today. We're going to start with the instant oatmeal. We have to pre-cook the oats. They get nice and toasty and it adds a nice flavor. I don't know if you guys like those crunchy things that you can buy, those packages of crunchy bits to put on your salads. What I do is I toast up my oats and then I add seeds and dried veggie bits for salad sprinkles. So anyway, we need 4 cups of oats toasted. So I have a pan to put them in. I am just going to confuse the bejeez out of you guys today because I'm going to be all over the place. These are just Quaker Oats, instant oats, and we need 4 cups. And we're just going to toast these up. This makes a lot. I liked it because I used to take it camping. And when my kids were, you know what, I probably need a bigger pan. Look at that. We're starting off really well. Let me just grab a bigger pan. I want to get out just that little bit more. This one toasted. So I'll use this big pan. You know, a cookie sheet would work. But knowing myself, I need things with high sides, as I can make a mess. So I'm just going to spread them in the pan kind of evenly. And they go in the oven for 20 minutes at 300 degrees. So I've turned the oven on and we're going to let that preheat. Voila, can we see? I can see. Okay, so we're going to let that, see, look, I got oats everywhere. All right, so that has to preheat the oven. Then we're going to put them in for 20 minutes. While we're going to do that, I'm going to make some chicken salad. Yeah, you know, like this worked really good for when we were camping. And the recipe said to put it in 8 packages. A lot of times I would just throw it in a jar or whatever and take it as it is. But when the kids were in daycare, sometimes I would send them to school with this for snack, or, you know, if they didn't have breakfast, I definitely would send something like this for their snack. And the teachers never minded putting hot water in it for the kids to have their stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make my chicken salad. This is homemade smoked chicken breasts. Yeah, I just dropped ice on the floor. I'm going to step in it and go. We'll be nice. We'll be nice. Anyway, homemade smoked chicken breast. That's what I use for lunch meats. Vacuum sealed because that's the way I do it. And I'm only going to use one of them because one does plenty of chicken salad for Ron and I. The other one I will slice and put in with our supper. We'll have supper. I have one nice big chicken breast. I'm going to put this on a plate because otherwise it's going to juice all over the fridge. Yeah, I need a different camera setup so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing behind you. All right. All right. Screen left intentionally blank. We're going to look down at the counter. Look, there's a smoked chicken breast. It's been thawed. But I'm just going to slice this up thin. Go throw it in a bowl. This is what I'm going to use for the wrap sandwiches. As I say, this makes a lot. From one chicken breast, if I do chicken salad, I get 4 sandwiches out of it. So that's like 2 lunches for Ron and I. But I put a lot of stuff in this. This is a nice crunchy smoked bit that won't sliver up nice. And these chicken breasts, yes, do make a mess because of the smoke. and from being frozen. Am I on screen? I am on screen. So yeah, I'm doing everything right from the basics today. I didn't pre-start anything for you guys. I wanted you to see everything total and complete. Hey Cindy, nice to see you. Working and watching, working and listening. We have so many evacuees, like they're just calling for help, you know, blankets and clothes. And Costco sent a truckload of baby products over because that was one of their big cries for help, you know. People with babies need diapers and formula and whatever. There's only so much you can have when you're being evacuated. So now I'm going to cut this other way. We just want little bits, right? And it too will kind of flake up as you mix other things into it. But I mean, one chicken breast can, you know, a lot of meat, lots of flavor. Oh, thanks, Anne. The rub that I use is a homemade rub. And I found the recipe online years ago. And it's what we use whenever we smoke things. It's got a bit of a nip to it, a little spicy. If anybody wants that recipe, let me know and I can put it in the box below. And this rub is great on pork, on chicken. Look at, see, that's going to make a lot of chicken salad, one chicken breast. I think I'll need a bigger bowl. You know what? I'm going to get a bigger bowl for that because what will hold a lot will hold a little. This bowl not going to cut it. Bigger bowl, bigger bowl. Wash, dry hands. What do we want? 28 huge. Because that will hold more. Now we're going to throw the chicken. Oh, look, oven's ready. I will put the oats in right away. Just get the chicken in here. All right. Now I'm going to put that in the sink. Just so we're not cross-contaminating meat with the veggies I'm going to be chopping. Going in the oven. 300 degrees. 20 minutes. Oh, wrong way. See? Give me dials. Give me dials and buttons. So that's a fair bit of chicken. Fair bit of chicken. All right. Have some Miracle Whip here. You can use mayo. You can use whatever you like. I want to use not quite a quarter cup. Yeah, maybe a quarter cup. Normally I don't measure. I eyeball everything. So we're just going to scrape down to the bottom of the bin. Okay. So I'm using a quarter cup. I'm going to put 3/4 of it in with the chicken. And this last little bit, I'm going to put in this small bowl here. And I am going to add spice to that. And that's going to be the spread on the wrap. That's going to go with the veggies and things. That can go in there. This here. All right. So I don't know how you guys make your chicken salad. I have no clue. I'm going to take, this is a homemade barbecue rub. It's got like smoked paprika or smoked salt, brown sugar, paprika, what else is there? Brown sugar, paprika. Can't remember. But it tastes like barbecue. I like putting it, if I've got veggies that I'm stir frying or whatever, I'll sprinkle a little bit of this on, and it tastes like barbecue veggies. I don't want much, but that's just a little, oh, probably about a teaspoon, maybe half a teaspoon. Big mess. We're going to mix that up. That's going to be what we spread on the tortilla under the veggies and under the chicken. You see? You see? It's going to be zippy because it's got chili powder in it. Lots of my rubs have chili powder. Okay, so we're going to use this spoon in this now. That little bit of Miracle Whip is just enough to get it moistened. Right, mix it in. I don't like my chicken salad too soggy, says she, as she's adding probably a tablespoon and a half of relish. This is homemade relish. I make my relish and I freeze it. And then I just lop off hunks whenever I'm making egg salad or chicken salad because I like that in my relish. Or I like that in my chicken salad. A little bit of sweet to go with it. All right. All right. Now I'm going to sliver up some onion and some red pepper and also add that to this. I have just a regular cooking onion, yellow onion. Oh, stuff on the floor. Am I on screen? Compost. I don't know about you, but when you get this green layer of the onion, I find it doesn't cook down. So usually I get rid of that entire layer. See, there's still more. It's almost like it's got dirt on it. So we're just going to take that entire layer off. It's going to go in the compost, or in the winter time, it would go in the freezer, go to compost. Or sometimes it just goes in the freezer and I use it for roasted vegetables or stock. So we're just going to take thin slivers of the onion. We're going to dice it up. What do we do? Fat-free substitute for mayonnaise. Ooh. You are also lactose intolerant, I think, if I remember correctly. Fat-free substitute for mayonnaise. What about like a barbecue sauce? Like, well, just wrap these around. That's translate over here. Substitute. Yeah, see, like you couldn't do cream cheese or yogurt. Did you do yogurt, Adam? Hey, Malia, nice to see you. Celery in there? You know what? I don't like raw celery. I have put it in. I could put some in. I was going to use onions and red peppers. My kids are not fans of chunks of onion. I don't mind them. I'm kind of used to disguising them. So what's that? Probably 2 tablespoons of onion. Maybe 3. It's a lot of chicken. It's a lot of chicken. There's lots of flavor. And that's a killer onion. My eyes are running. My nose is running. Yeah. Fat-free yogurt. More like a male. What I use when I make my own ranch dressing, like I use like the milk powder in my ranch dressing, and I mix that with a little bit of yogurt and lemon juice. But I don't know. But I mean, like the milk powder doesn't have fat in it because it's skim milk, like it's no fat. Pepper. Pepper. So I'm just going to take a piece of pepper. About this. It's in the fridge. And after. Trim out membrane. Could you use the milk powder, Anne? If you did like no fat yogurt and the milk powder and counteract the sour, maybe like a teaspoon of apple juice. Would that work for you? Yeah. Most meat. Oh no. That is hard to handle. So I'm just going to sliver up this red pepper. I don't mind if the red pepper is a little bit bigger chunks than the onions. Again, 2 or 3 tablespoons. Just do it to taste, guys. Seriously, do it to taste. All right. So to me, that's a lovely chicken salad. I know a lot of you would probably add some additional mayo or Miracle Whip or whatever. I do not. All right. That's how I do my chicken salad. My younger daughter actually puts craisins in her chicken salad, which I find very interesting. I could have every cutting board in my kitchen dirty today, I think. Still have 9 minutes to go on the oats. So I am going to continue doing stuff for the chicken salad sandwiches. This is mozzarella cheese. Where are we here? This is mozzarella cheese. I usually buy it in a big block, especially if it's on sale. Use it for my mass cooking. But if I'm not doing a mass cook and it's on sale, I will buy it and I will chunk it and throw it in the freezer. The only problem with that is it doesn't grate the same way that it would grate if you were doing it for, fresh cheese. It just kind of crumbles. It looks like it's the same, but it's not. I only need about a quarter of a cup. But since this is what I thought, I am going to do the whole bit. And then just take out the quarter cup that I need for the wrap. I don't know that I could refreeze this. So I see something like cheese toast, garlic cheese toast in the near future as well. All right. That did grate really nice. Maybe it's the cheddar I have more problem with. I just remember it being more really powdery than like this. You guys in with it? Not the same, but okay. I have not shared my barbecue rub recipe. The barbecue spice or the rub that I use on the chicken. I haven't shared either one, but I can definitely put them into the description box below. If you would like. Definitely, definitely. Okay, so we're going to start doing the instant oatmeal. I've got the stuff for the sandwiches. The recipe for the sandwich says quarter cup filling of your choice. That's going to be this stuff. Spread of your choice. So I used some of the mayo and used the barbecue spice to flavor that. Then slices of vegetables. I am going to do, oh, see, I threw that in the sink, and I probably should have cut the cucumber. Another cutting board. Like I said, I'm going to end up using all the cutting boards today, guys. But that's okay. It's not like I'm lacking cutting boards, seriously. Okay, so let's do the cucumber. I've got, this is an English cucumber, and I just want some thin slices. This is just going to go as is right into the sandwich. It's not going in the chicken mix. Now I'm just making one sandwich to show you how I do it. You can use any combination of whatever you've got for this. That's a lot of cucumber. It's fine. I'm going to put it on this corner of the cheese plate because I can. Cucumber can go back in the fridge. Sometimes I'll grate, pardon me, sometimes I'll grate some carrot as well to throw in here. Use what you've got in your fridge. Make it as healthy or as unhealthy as you want. I know some people use peanut butter and banana or brown sugar, banana and cinnamon in their wraps. Okay, so I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to flip this one over because I can. The other ones didn't flip over good. I am going to chop up some raisins for the oatmeal. So the oatmeal recipe calls for a half cup chopped dry fruit. We're going to take a heaping scoop of raisins. The reason I chop it up is because being instant like this, getting whole raisins, it's not as nice as if they're chopped into smaller pieces. Does that make sense? You know, I just took this knife out. I'm going to use a big knife. But I'm just going to chop it. And like I say, this oatmeal is great for camping. It's great for, it's like those little instant packages. It's just homemade and it's got better stuff in it for you. So you could use dried cherries, you could do plums, you could do prunes, you could do whatever you like. Dried fruit. If you can't afford to buy a bag of dried fruit, if you've got fruit roll-ups, take some scissors to a roll-up, use that. Use what you've got available. I just like using, you know, stuff I've got, guys. Using stuff we've got. So I'm not concerned that it's a little bit over half a cup, because it just means that I can get away with less sugar. Because the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup brown sugar to half a cup of brown sugar. And what? Sorry, my nose is running. I need to deal with that. There's so much smoke in the air out there. Allergies are running rampant. Even though I'm cooped up in the house, I've got 4 air purifiers going in here, and I'm still struggling. It's annoying as all the G's. Okay, so we put those in the bowl. It calls for 1/2 to 1 teaspoon cinnamon. No measuring spoons. Ah, look at that. Let's just grab a handful and see what we've got. So I'm going to do like a 1/2 teaspoon, but a little more than a 1/2. I really do like cinnamon. So it's not quite, let me see, it's more than 1/2, but it's not a full teaspoon. You can add some nutmeg too, if you like. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. That measuring cup too. Because I used the other one for something. Oh, the Miracle Whip. That's what it is. Let's see. So this is just regular Rogers brown sugar. Yeah, and that must be just brutal. So it's okay if it's a little bit over, because it says 1/4 to a 1/2 cup. And remember, there's 4 cups of oats going in here, so it's not going to be overly sweet. But with both the brown sugar and the raisins in there, there's enough sweetness that, you know. So I am going to mix this together, because I want the raisins all covered in the brown sugar. Do you remember your moms doing this when they did those fruit cakes and stuff? They would mix all their candied peel and fruits and stuff with flour so that they didn't stick together. This is the same kind of idea. Mixing the oats with the raisins. Ah, there we go. There we go. So I am going to turn the oven off and take that pan out. Now, if I was doing this for the salad dressings, the salad crunchies, I would add, who's swearing at me now? I would, what the heck? Oh, locked my stove top. I would leave it in for just a little bit longer. I would add some spices to it, some garlic, maybe some onion powder. Give it just a really light spritz of oil. And you don't want very much oil. You can just do it this way. But it does. It's got a nuttier flavor. You know, it's kind of like toasted nuts. We have to let that cool. We'll go back over here. All right. We've got cinnamon, raisins, and brown sugar. We need 2/3 of a cup of powdered milk. Oh, the wildflowers are brutal. Oh, I was saying to Ron, you know, I'd like to see if they need help, you know, doing the mass cooking in the kitchens, making the sandwiches and stuff. I don't know if they're doing that, but, and of course I can't leave the house right now, but I would love to be able to do that. All right, so 2/3 of a cup of milk powder. Again, this is just the skim milk. Yeah. And we can mix that in as well. Then all we have to do is add the oats, and that's the instant porridge. So basically it says portion into 8 servings, because that's, you know, a decent size serving. I'm going to put it into 1 cup containers. Normally I would put it in jars, but I didn't wash any jars. So anyways, it says pour boiling water in, stir for a minute, and then eat. So you don't really have to add anything to it. It's like that instant oatmeal. You could use dried peaches. You could use, you know, use what you got. Use all kinds of fun stuff. Right? Right. Okay. So that's the instant oatmeal. Like I say, I'm going to be putting it in 1 cup containers because that's going to work for Ron and I to 1 cup split between the 2 of us is going to be plenty good. Plenty good. So I'm going to keep this 1/4 cup measure out so that I can use it for measuring that. Now we're going to do these wraps. That's hot. Pop. And I know that some recipes, when you do this, actually calls for a control. Come on. I need to turn the stove on. Stove. Because I have a hot pad on top and I locked it. My girlfriend's cat walks across her stove, so she keeps hers locked all the time. All right. So I buy my wraps at Costco. They come 36 to a pack, 3 packs of 12. I'm just going to make 1 sandwich, show you how I do these. But yeah, that instant oatmeal stuff, I love it. Okay, so we have the wrap. We are going to take a knife and we're going to cut it like this. So it's got a flap, right? Can you see? Can we see? Oh, you can't see. Okay, I got the tortilla. It's a 10-inch tortilla. I cut it so we've got the flap, right? Okay, so now we're going to take that barbecue sauce stuff and we're going to put it up here, down this side. It's a lot of stuff. Right? All right. So now we're going to take it over to the stove. Over to the stove. See what you lock up. For me, if I do that, I don't know. I think I might be losing it. Like that. Ooh. How's that? How's that? Ooh. Nope. Slowly. Ah. Look. There's the stove. Nice. Excellent. Hey, Lee, nice to see you. Hi, Belinda, nice to see you too. Hello to anybody I've missed. Lee just posted a bird something for his train layout. Can't remember what it was. It had to do with birds. Sorry. Darn allergies, I tell ya. All right, so we're gonna turn this on. And I'm gonna set it for about 7, so that's a medium high right now. So I put the spread. You could use Thousand Island. You could use barbecue sauce. You could use whatever your heart desires. Okay, so this is a half cup. I only need half of this for the chicken mixture. Oh, see, not on screen. I'm just putting a 1/4 cup chicken mixture because all my 1/4 cup things are dirty now. Okay, and it goes on the bottom flap, the bottom quarter. And that is a fair bit of filling. Fair bit of filling. I'll show you right away. Can you see? Oh, this way. On that bottom corner. Now I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of cheese. And I'm going to sprinkle it all on the other half. 1/4 cup of grated cheese. And it's going to go on this side, across from the chicken. That's a lot of cheese. It's okay if you get that. Use the same spatula from the mixture. And then on the top quarter above the chicken, now I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. That's where we're going to put the cucumber. Yep, lots of cucumber. Good. So kind of, you do what works for you. You do what works for you. Now I could put, do this, show you. Can you see? Okay, so I've got the chicken, I've got the cucumber, and this is all cheese. You can always put something else in there, sliced onions or peppers or whatever. Now we're going to let that cheese melt, and then we're going to fold it up and put it on a plate. I have a plate. And it doesn't take long. It does not take long. But see, I still have like this much chicken salad left. So if I was doing 2 wraps, that'd be, you know, like I said, I can get 4 sandwiches out of 1 chicken breast doing this. Oh, this is not showing. I didn't realize we were slid. Oh, it's not going to do it, is it? Eek. Eek. I can't tighten that anymore. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. Hope it doesn't move. So I have my spatula. Just gonna check. We just want kind of golden brown. The cheese is melted. And so what I'm gonna do, I don't know how well you can see. You take the side with the chicken on it. You flip it up onto the cucumbers. Then you take the cucumbers and you flip it over onto the cheese. Let's do it like this. Okay. So I put the chicken up, and now the cucumber got folded onto that cheese, and then this last piece of cheese tortilla gets flipped that way, And there you have it. A lovely fried tortilla sandwich. And you can stuff it with whatever you want. If you've got lunch meats, you could do it with ham. You could do it with pepperoni. You could do it with whatever you have on hand. You could do it with eggs. But it's just a lovely, lovely little sandwich. All right. So we're going to move this out of the way. And we're going to put the oats into the oatmeal. They're reasonably cool. I'll take this out. Now, we're going to put these oats in here. I suppose you could do those in the panini press too, by folding it up first and then putting it in the panini press. So this is the instant oatmeal. You mix it all up. You can see if I'd have left those raisins whole, you wouldn't get a bit of raisin in every bite. And that's what you're looking for, right? That little bit of sweetness in every bite. And there we have it, chicken salad wraps and oatmeal. What is genius? No, not the moms, yeah. Yeah, I definitely cheat and buy tortillas because sometimes they definitely have hot spots. Like I do flatbreads like naans and things on the stove, but you do have to be careful. All right, so that is our day today. Thank you guys very much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you try out any of this stuff, let me know. Anne, did you want both the barbecue powder recipe, like the barbecue spice recipe, and the rub that I do for the chicken? Because I'll put them up down below. I'll just put both of them down below. One will say barbecue and the other will say rub on it. All right, it will be in the description below this afternoon. Hugs to you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. June 1st, don't forget, white rabbits, white rabbits, white rabbits. And thanks, everybody. See you on Tuesday. Take care now. Bye.